Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Nick the Booksmith, and today I thought we would talk about printing, and most specifically, like if you purchase digital kits from a graphic artist off of Etsy, or another website that you may buy digital kits from. I thought we would talk about that a little bit and maybe answer some questions about printing. So there are, hello, this is big old wide empty space. There are different types of files that the graphic designers will make their digital kits available in, and they can be in JPEG, PDF, or zip files. Now Etsy only allows 5 file uploads per listing, okay? So if you're buying a digital kit, let's say an ephemera kit, and it only has 5 pages, that's great. Then those pages can be uploaded as JPEGs or images by themselves, each by themselves, and it's great. But what if you are purchasing a digital kit that has more than 5 pages in it? Well, this is when the graphic designer will have to make a choice, and they have 2 choices. You can either, let's say a listing has 10 images in it, and you're only allowed 5 upload slots. Well, you can do one of 2 things. You can take 2 images and put them together into a zip file. And a zip file is basically just, it's a file that will compress 2 images together so that they can be uploaded as one. And then that way, 10 images can turn into 5 uploads because there are 2 in each zip file. Or let's say maybe the digital kit, like my planner kit has 21, 22 images, pages in it. So I had to put those in like 4 to 5 for each zip file, so that when each file that you download will actually have 4 to 5 images in each one. Now, some people, opening up a zip file is super easy. The newer computers, basically, you just download the zip file just like you would any other JPEG or PDF. You double click on it, it opens it, and you can just drag and drop them to your desktop. No big deal. Some older computers, and probably like iPads and tablets and stuff like that, some of those will need zip file extractors. And there are lots and lots of free programs out there for PC and Mac. And all you have to do is Google zip file extraction or zip file opening software, or how do I open a zip file on Mac, or how do I open a zip file on my PC, and all kinds of options will pop up if you are having trouble opening a zip file. Another way that a graphic designer can upload more than 5 images is they can turn those images into PDFs. And a PDF will also collect several images together. Sometimes you can even put captions and text, and then that way it compresses it into one file so that the customer can just download that file and open it up. Now, the difference between a zip file and a PDF is a PDF will compress the images in a way to where you will lose some resolution. Meaning, let's say the graphic designer made a page that is 8.5 by 11, 300 DPI, and let's say that ended up in an image that was 5 megabytes. Well, let's say you have 4 of those and you put them all in a PDF. Well, they will shrink those images down and the resolution won't be as high, meaning the quality of the image will be downgraded some. Now, to most people, as long as it's not compressed too much, as long as not too many images are crammed together, the quality loss is minimal, nominal, and a lot of people would never even know the difference. I choose, because my images that I make, I want them to be 300 DPI. I want them to be 8.5 by 11. I want that to be what it is. And so I choose to use zip files if there's more than 5 images per kit, because the zip file will not reduce your resolution. It will not compress your image and make the quality go down. And so that is why I use zip files as opposed to PDF. There's no right way or wrong way. It's just my personal preference, and so that's what I do. So, okay, so there's that. And maybe that'll answer a question about PDF versus zip file versus JPEG. Okay, and the next thing we can talk about is printers, and what kind of printer are you going to... Boy, I made this the most boring video ever. There's like nothing for you to look at. So let's look at something. Okay, so here's some images that I printed out. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? So there are different kinds of printers that everyone uses. There, of course, Inkjet. There are LaserJet. And then there are commercial, like digital copiers. And so most home use printers are either Inkjet or LaserJet. Inkjet uses liquid ink, and it sprays the ink onto the paper, and then it just slowly, it's a pretty quick drying ink, and so that's when it comes out, it's just barely kind of, you gotta watch it or you could smear it. Laser jets use powder ink, which is called toner. And the laser lays this powder onto the paper in whatever the image is, and then it applies heat to it to bond that powder to the paper. So this is where it gets kind of complicated. You would think you could just put any paper in any printer and it's going to print. Well, in a perfect world, that would be great. If you are using an inkjet printer, you have more options as far as paper is concerned. Let me show you some differences. I'm going to set that aside because I don't need that yet. Okay, so let's look at just some regular cheapo cardstock. And this is, I don't know if I got it at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's. Honestly, I can't remember where I got it, but it was just the cheap, like 25 sheets to a pack, cheapo cardstock. Nothing, it is like an off-white color, but nothing special. And this is the Inkjet, and this is how the Inkjet printed onto the cardstock. Not bad, not bad. Almost photo quality. This is the laser, and the laser, I didn't print this on the highest quality. I just did it on the normal quality, and still it's pretty good. It's not quite, if you see it in real life, the laser is a little darker of an image, but the inkjet is a smoother image. So it's a clearer image, whereas this one is more contrasty, but this one is more smooth and velvet and clear. You can see the difference also in like this postcard. So that's a different, so you can absolutely print on cardstock. Just be careful that when you're gonna print, to make sure that when it pulls up the print box, to choose, thicker paper. Don't let it just say plain paper. You won't get as nice of an image. So make sure to use thicker paper. For an inkjet, for printing ephemera, or, journaling cards and that kind of thing, my personal preference is matte photo paper, and I get my matte photo paper at Office Depot, I use their brand. It's their professional photo paper in matte, and it is 61 pound. And I really, really like this paper. It is double-sided, which means you don't have to be careful which way you insert the paper. It's going to be fine either way. But it just gives this beautiful velvety image print when you print with an inkjet. It's just a lovely, lovely, velvety, buttery, soft. Is that enough adjectives for you? If I'm going to be using a laser to print with, I like to use a digital copy paper. And let me show you the package. It's the package, like, it was falling apart when I got it, so, but I didn't want to take all the paper out. So this one is made by Hammermill, and so it's color copy digital cover, and it is made for laser printers, inkjet printers, or your digital copiers, like your commercial copiers. This happens to be 80-pound paper. It has 100 brilliance, which is pretty darn good. And of course, it's 8.5 by 11. I was able to get this. You can get this on Amazon. You can get it at Office Depot. The cheapest place to get this is at Sam's Club, like by almost half. So Office Depot has this ream. It's 250 sheets. Office Depot had this ream of paper for like 24 or something. I got it at Sam's Club for $8 and change, and that was with free shipping. So if you have a Sam's Club card, you might check that out. Alternatively, I think Walmart has a pretty decent price on this. For like an online price, even if they don't have it in the store, you can get this online. Just shop around for a good price. This is a great paper for inkjet or laser, but I got this specifically for my laser printer, and that is because you cannot put, well, you can, but you shouldn't. You should not put paper that is made for an inkjet printer. Like you can see this one, it is made for an inkjet printer. Don't use this photo paper in a laser jet printer if you can help it. The way that paper is made for printing, so inkjet paper is made so that when an inkjet printer sprays that ink onto the paper, it has maximum saturation. Well, a laser printer does not spray liquid ink onto paper. It bonds it with heat. So some inkjet papers may not be able to withstand the heat. The toner may smear. It's just a mess. So there are a lot of papers that are called multi-use, and they're made for either or, like that Hammermill paper that I just showed you, that's multi-use. So just be cognizant of the kind of paper you are putting into your machine, because paper that is made for laser printers is made to be able to withstand that heat, and so that it will allow that toner to bond to the paper. So that's why I like this digital cover paper that you can get, that Hammermill paper, that 80-pound, because it makes a pretty stinking good image. Almost as good as the photo paper. I think it's almost as good as the photo paper. So yeah, so here's the photo paper. And I think it's pretty darn close. I am a photographer. I've been a photographer for over a decade, and so I can see the differences, and I can tell which one I like better. But for general purposes, it's not gonna matter at all. Like, nobody's gonna really see the difference as far as that goes. So, but just be cognizant that if you put inkjet paper in a laser printer, it might not work. It might not be able to handle the heat. The toner might not bond well. So just be careful of that. Let's see what else. Okay, vellum. Let's talk about vellum for a minute. Oh wait, let me show you what, before I move on. So this was printed with my laser paper, my laser printer, and this is just regular thin copy paper, but it is made for a laser jet machine. It is specifically made for laser printers, and so it will print nicer, and it's not that much more expensive. It's nice paper, don't get me wrong. It is like super nice paper. So it's not gonna be super duper cheap, like multi-use cheapo. It's gonna be a couple of dollars more for your 500 sheets, but I tell you what, it is worth its weight in gold. So if you have a laser printer, try to get laser printer paper. Okay, now let's moving right along. Let's look at some vellum. Now, vellum, they say you can print it in an inkjet printer. I have never had much success in an inkjet printer because the vellum does not like to bond with the vellum. The ink just does it like it wants to smear. So I always use my laser printer for printing on vellum. And another thing that is important to remember, that if you're going to be printing on vellum, don't use like the highest quality print option. Go to the fast, save your toner, like you're going to be printing something quick and dirty that you didn't care what it looked like, because vellum cannot handle a whole lot of ink. So if you tried to print this like in the highest quality, like the photo setting, you're gonna have a smeary mess. It's just not gonna work out. So sometimes the printer software will call it fast printing or draft printing. My brother printer says it is toner saving. So you just do cheapo, fast, and then because you don't want a real heavy image anyway, you kind of want a muted kind of watercolor, kind of ghosty image anyway. And so, and you don't want to mess. So that's what that is for. So remember, laser printer for vellum. Now I get my vellum through Michaels, and this is the brand right here. I get it online because I don't believe they have it in the store. During Cyber Monday, I was able to get these for like $3 a pack, and there's 25 sheets to a pack. And so I stocked up on a couple of packs because they were, less than half price. Normal price, I think, is like $8 for 25 sheets. But this vellum is really nice. It's a nice quality vellum. I have used other vellums before, just random generic vellum that I have found, and they all work pretty much the same. Some of them might be a little heavier than others. I bind these into books as pages, so I don't want them too heavy because I want them to be able to turn like a page. So, okay, I think that was it. Was that it? I think that was it. I think that's what I wanted to tackle today. I hope this helped out a little bit. I am going to put a link down in the description box below the video, and it will be a link to an Etsy article that will help you to find and download digitals that you have purchased from shops on Etsy. Sometimes I'll get emails from folks who are like, where are my digital kits? And I'm like, oh, let me show you. So I'm going to put that link down in the description box, so for safekeeping, so if anybody has any questions about that. And if you guys have any questions, please put them down below, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. And maybe we'll come up with another video later about more printing if there's enough questions that need to be addressed about printing. So, okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it answered some questions for those of you that maybe had some questions about printing digital kits and and the types of files that they come in, and the types of papers and the types of printers that we use. Everybody have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are around the world. And I will catch you all very soon in the next video. Bye, guys.